presented by Heineken. The city of Miami knows a thing or two about star power, and there's no shortage of it on South Beach tonight as we get set for the ICC Women's Champion between Olympique Lyon, 12-time running champions of France, and the North Carolina Courage. Right now, running away leaders in the National Women's Soccer League table. Alongside World Cup and Olympic champion Julie Foudy, I'm Sebastian Salazar. Let's take a look at North Carolina Courage lineup under head coach Paul Riley.
It looks like they're going in a 4-5-1. We typically see Carolina Courage in a 4-4-2. Hamilton may tuck up front and Speck knock out to the Y, but pay particular attention to Len Williams, their leading scorer with 8 goals this year.
Riley's opposite number, Reynald Pedro, former French international, has taken over Lyon in 2017. Here's his 11 for tonight.
And for a lot of fans out there, they're going to see some familiar names with the French team. Les Sommer, of course, up front. Henri, who played in the United States. A lot of talent. Renard on that team. And an English player in right back, Lucy Bronze. And this is a team, as Sebastian, you mentioned, the best in Europe 3 times in a row, winning the Champions League. The first women's team to do that. 3 consecutive titles.
If that reads like an all-star lineup, that's because it is. Of the 10 players listed on FIFA's recent The Best list for Female Player of the Year, 6 of them, Julie, 6 play for Lyon. This is absolutely one of the most star-studded teams in world football. Of course, this matchup, long time in the making. A lot of NWSL fans will have wanted to see the best of their best face off against the best of Europe's. How did we get here? Well, 6th year of the ICC. First women's tournament. This part of a 4-team event. North Carolina Courage beating PSG in the semifinal 2-1 thanks to goals from Jessica McDonald and Darian Jenkins. Lyon with a 3-0 victory over Manchester City. Eugenie Les Sommer with a couple of goals, also an assist to Ada Hegerberg. Those 3 goals coming in the first 20 minutes of play against Manchester City.
First 17 minutes of play.
Yeah, Manchester City is a very good team. In fact,
in the United States now.
Lyon going left to right on your screen. White shorts, white tops, red trim. North Carolina Courage in the all blues going right to left. If Lyon is dominant in the Champions League, North Carolina's been dominant in NWSL this year. 46 points through 19 games. They got a 16-point cushion atop the table. Plus 27 goal differential, and they've already clinched a playoff spot. Julie, the NWSL's regular season doesn't end till the first week of September, and they've already got a postseason position locked up.
And if they win on Sunday against Portland, they clinch the Shield for the 2nd season in a row as well. And a lot of it has to do with that man right there. Paul Riley talked to Sam Mewis, one of their national team stars who's not with them, of course, tonight. And I said, why so good right now? And she gave a lot of credit to that man right there, Paul Riley. She says we all buy in, and he has really brought this team together.
Long ball over the top will make its way to Sabrina D'Angelo. In net for Courage. They have some unfinished business perhaps after last season, losing in the NWSL Championship to Portland Thorns. Opportunity here for Lyon.
Good early look at Hegerberg. She plays that high striker target position for Lyon.
Kristen Hamilton there turning on the burners before she ran into Kadisha Buchanan. Buchanan, the best young player at the 2015 World Cup, representing Canada, played her college ball at West Virginia. So we see Reynald Pedros, French international, played for Les Bleus in the mid-90s, took over Lyon just a year ago. Lucy Bronze, right back for Lyon, English international. Well, what a World Cup she had in 2015. Game winners in the round of 16, game winner in the quarterfinal as England made a historic run. Izzy Christensen, recently signed from Manchester City. Starting the break, ball finds its way to Hegerberg. Norwegian has her attempt blocked. Impressive midfield for Lyon. Hamadine Henry, Christensen, Saki Kumagai.
It'll be interesting to see, too, North Carolina known for pressing and making sure they're trying to, as soon as they lose the ball, press defensively. How Lyon handles that pressure with some of the best players in the world, as we've been saying. And if Carolina can be effective in it.
Ball into Les Sommer. 2 goals in the semifinal against Manchester City. Plus an assist, doing the dirty defensive work as well here in the opening moments.
And there's a player in Denise O'Sullivan who has been such an important cog to all of the success at Carolina. Of course, they're national team players, and there's 5 of them gone. With the U.S. team right now, get a lot of the credit, but O'Sullivan is the Irish national teamer in midfield that so good on the ball.
Bronze to take the throw in here. Played 1 year at North Carolina.
You know what I had forgotten? She actually won a national championship in 2009 with Jess McDonald.
McDonald not in the starting lineup. We were surprised to see that.
That stat thanks to Jen Cooper for that little nugget. She's always good for a lot of nuggets.
The keeper, always keeping us informed. That cross coming in from Shanice van de Sanden. Big part of the Dutch team. Won the European Championships last summer. Probing ball forward. All the way to Lisa Weiss. German goalie plays it out to the captain, Wendy Renard. Such a pivotal figure, not just for Lyon, but French national team as well. Nearly has her pass picked off. North Carolina applying some high pressure. 6 minutes in, 0-0. This is the Women's International Champions Cup final. Les Sommer looking for help. Had an overlapping run from the left back, Caroline Simon. Renard surging forward. Cheeky little clipped ball over the top, cut out. Kumagai chasing all the way back. Drew, this game's been, I said this earlier, kind of a long time in the making. You know, NWSL is known as maybe the world's most competitive league, but I think there's some people that think the best soccer might actually be played by teams like Lyon, PSG, now Manchester City, as they invest more and more in their women's team. So I know North Carolina Courage isn't playing with a full deck. We can go through their absences in a minute, but if you're an NWSL fan, this is really a chance for the league's best to kind of carry the banner.
Yeah, and you know, they of course have Champions League where you can see the best of Germany and the best of England and France, and the U.S. teams have never been really able to compare themselves to that because we don't have that equivalent. So it is a great opportunity to see where they're at, even with, you know, 6 national team players, 5 from the U.S. for the Courage, and Debinha, of course, from Brazil as well, a 6th North Carolina player that's missing.
Crystal Dunn, McCall Zerboni, Sam Mewis, Merritt Mathias, Abby Dahlkemper. That's Debinha, that's quite a list. It's a big chunk out of Paul Riley's plans. Of course, all those players playing in the Tournament of Nations. I'm told the U.S.-Australia just went final, a 1-1 draw. Lindsey Horan, the late equalizer. She has a knack for big goals, huh?
Yeah, and she's had a great season as well in WSL. 9 goals to lead the league alongside Sam Kerr, who they were just playing against each other tonight. Those two leading the league with 9, and right behind them on this field tonight, Lynn Williams.
Lyon building through the middle. Courage, very direct early on. As you mentioned, they usually play with 2 forwards, but you can see pretty clearly, Julie, Lynn Williams kind of on an island.
Yeah, no Jess McDonald tonight, which is interesting. They do have that big game in a week. Maybe resting a few.
Le Sommer from distance. Blocked away by Kaylee Kurtz.
It's great to see Heather O'Reilly back on the field as well. Former national team player, of course. Was over in Arsenal playing. Played at UNC, so she's very excited to be back in that area again.
Kawamura plays it ahead. Fight's gonna have to come get this one, and she does. Kristen Hamilton applying the pressure for North Carolina. 10 minutes gone, no score between the reigning shield holders of NWSL and the reigning Champions League winners in Europe. Jaylene Hinkle called into the national team for the Tournament of Nations, for being one of all players released just before the tournament. Miscommunication here. Williams in, slots it across, chance for O'Reilly. Yes! Heather O'Reilly makes it 1-0 in the 10th minute. North Carolina Courage in the driver's seat.
And you just cannot have this type of miscommunication with Lynn Williams and Heather O'Reilly prowling. And it's a miscommunication by Buchanan. I don't know who she thinks that ball's being played to. But Lynn Williams is going to be certain to make them pounce. And a rare mistake for that very steady back line of Lyon. Often you see Reynard playing alongside Mbok Bati, actually another French center back. Plays on the national team as well, but Buchanan getting the start today. Maybe that is one of the reasons for the miscommunication, but give credit to Carolina for punishing him for that.
Lyon will look for a response now. A position they don't often find themselves in, trailing early in a match. Hegerberg chases down. 23-year-old Norwegian, one of the many stars on this Lyon side. Le Sommer. Hegerberg lays it off. Well, shot from distance, but North Carolina's defense stout. Another long ball over the top, looking for Williams. Buchanan first to it. I always say this about Lynn Williams, kind of the poster player, if you will, for what the NWSL could potentially mean to the U.S. women's national team pool.
Yeah, in terms of a player that slips through the cracks, isn't seen, and then is resurrected with a professional league. Here's the goal again. Lynn Williams just picking up that miss, and Lyon unable to react. Simone on the other side couldn't get in front of Heather O'Reilly, and good on Heather O'Reilly for anticipating that and reading that and making that near post run.
Lisa Weiss had a look at it, couldn't keep it out of the net, and with that, North Carolina Courage have the lead. Lyon, champions of Europe. They beat Wolfsburg in the final, 4-1 in extra time in Kiev. They'll open their season in late August.
"12 consecutive league titles as well, which is incredible. And that really is the knock on the French league, is
basically a two-team league, right?
Yeah, PSG and
well.
Lyon.
Williams, a flick-on header, but no one there to run onto it for North Carolina. We were mentioning the case of Jaylene Hinkle earlier. Of course, that was her first call-up since turning down the U.S. women's national team call-up last year, saying that her Christian faith prevented her from wearing the pride jerseys the U.S. women were wearing that month.
Some criticism, of course, of Jill Ellis taking that long to invite her back in. And then also some fans who weren't pleased she was back in. But I think obviously everyone deserves that chance to be given the right to wear the United States jersey. And you have to make sure that their views are heard as well.
If we're sticking just on the field, she's absolutely one of the best left backs in the pool, yeah?
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, she could have filed a grievance against U.S. Soccer and said, you know, why haven't I been brought in ever since I declined to come in? And I think in the back of their mind, they probably had that concern that that was a possibility.
Might I suggest any player who rejects a call-up, no matter what the reason, could just never get a call-up again for that reason alone, regardless of why you turned down a call?
Well, it has to be for obviously technical reasons, right? It can't be because we think that she's going to be a negative influence on team chemistry. It has to be for a soccer reason.
Williams going 1-on-5. And she's doing a good job of it. Draws the foul before turning the ball over, so it'll be a set piece here for North Carolina.
And that is the danger of Lynn Williams, what she brings and how she stretches defense. You have to honor that pace and respect that. Gets caught up a little bit, but almost managed to break through there. And when you have Hamilton, number 23, alongside her as well with her pace, I mean, those two themselves can really stretch a back line.
All driven into the box. It'll harmlessly skip to Weiss. It's a good, I won't say one-on-one battle, but showdown between Renard and Williams. Renard guilty of the foul. 28-year-old captain of Lyon. Christensen trying to slip it through. It's back to Kumagai. Misfires on her pass to Buchanan, who has to chase it down. Lyon down. Who are in the middle of the NWSL campaign. Kawamura hacked down by Kumagai. The Japanese internationals doing battle in the middle of the park. Hinkle. Looking for Williams. Renard instead wins the header. Another turnover here from Lyon. Williams turns and fires, didn't get anything on it.
And there's that press of North Carolina paying off in the final third. Is what they've done so well this year in NWSL.
Nard and Kumagai back and forth. Now Simon down the left side. Hegerberg. Last touch by North Carolina. Throw in Lyon. Le Sommer. Battle in the corner. Hegerberg looked to be the last one to touch it. Instead, our center F Jasmine Peralta has it going the other way. Simon. Van de Sanden. Lays it off from Marine Henry. Ex of the Portland Thorns. Christensen now. Lofted ball into the box, headed away. Bronze. First to it, couldn't control. North Carolina clears. 20 minutes down, 25 to go. Hard Rock Stadium, Miami, Florida. Julie Foudy, Sebastian Salazar on the call. 2018 Women's International Champions Cup Final. 6th year of the ICC, first time they've added a women's tournament. These two teams, along with PSG and Manchester City, 4 invitees. Hinkle showing off her skills. Beautiful nutmeg. She's found Williams. Flag up.
That would have been one for SportsCenter if they pulled it all the way back and she had scored that one. The Meg. And then the ball into Williams. Great idea. They don't give us the Meg. Come on, World Feed. How can you not give us that?
Get a field cam on the glory shots later. The International Champions Cup is presented by Heineken. Open your world. Enjoy responsibly. 1-0 North Carolina Courage. Goal coming from Heather O'Reilly. Very direct play early on here from North Carolina. Hegerberg whistled for the foul, right around midfield.
It's been a good opportunity, too, with these 2 games for North Carolina, even though they are missing those national teamers, to run some legs off some of the players who aren't getting as many minutes. You're not seeing her tonight, but she played minutes before, and you're probably going to see her later. Carrier Caro was in the midfield. Speck getting more minutes.
Hinkle with a driven ball, deflected. And now Lyon on the counter, through Henry, charging into space. French international. Van de Sanden trying to turn the corner, can't do so. Meredith Speck with the tough defending. Her clearance only to Lucy Bronze. Opens up for Henry. Henry now with the cross, driven into the near post. Another half clearance from Courage. Hinkle in trouble. Managed to poke it away. North Carolina unable to clear lines. Ripped shot with the left foot, well held by Sabrina D'Angelo. What a strike from Simone.
And this is just a battle. Scrappy, second balls. North Carolina can't clear it. And Simone, no one steps to her fast enough. With a lot of traffic in front of her. She's thinking, why not? It could take a deflection. D'Angelo hasn't had much to do yet. Let's give her a test.
Lyon with some space now, crossing midfield down the left-hand flank. Christensen, recently signed from Manchester City. Now Henry. Renard. Renard with space. Under pressure from Williams, and Renard has turned it over. Good break here for North Carolina. Williams on the run. Always trouble for an opposing defense. Williams one-on-one with Buchanan. Williams into the box. Williams on a right foot. Tries the cross, blocked away. Corner kick coming, North Carolina.
Good defense by Buchanan as well. You know the pace of Williams, and Buchanan stayed with her step for step. And this is the problem with that 4-5-1 when you're just playing Williams high. When you get a break like that, she had to delay a little bit for Hamilton to try and catch her.
'24th minute corner kick coming for North Carolina as they look to extend their lead. One up on a Heather O'Reilly goal after Lyon turnover. O'Reilly with the service. She'll play it short. Renard clears from the penalty spot. Ryan Williams on it. Great pass. She's found O'Reilly. Renard. Off her shin. Ball pops up into the box. Abby Erceg, the first shot. Williams got a second crack at it. Player down in the box. And we'll have a stoppage in play. Kadisha Buchanan holding the left ankle. Big play from Lucy Bronze.
And what a terrible clear by Renard. It caused a lot of this mess. And a beautiful tackle by Bronze, to your point, Seb. Here you see Erceg just trying to get a snipe at it.
A reminder, tomorrow the International Champions Cup continues on ESPNU and ESPN Deportes with PSG and Atletico Madrid at 7:30 a.m. Eastern from Singapore's National Stadium. The match available streaming live on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. Buchanan back up on 2 feet. Wait to get back underway in Miami. In Williams, sporting decision, throws out, so possession will turn back over to Lyon. They'll come away playing on the goal kick. Abby Erceg from just a few feet away, with a chance to double North Carolina's lead. Heroic defensive intervention from Lucy Bronze. Keeps Lyon within striking distance for the moment. The French champions look every bit a team in preseason through 27 minutes. Kawamura down on the ground. And you can tell from the concern, not just of her own teammates, but of the opponents.
And that's her knee that she actually tore meniscus in May of last year and had just been getting back from this knee injury. So you hate to see that. You can see the concern of her teammates right away, especially after you've spent a good year rehab and get back.
Take a look at Paul Riley, obviously concerned about the health of his midfielder. You never want to see a player injured, but less so in a tournament like this, when you've got a half of the season left to go.
And you could see Kumagai, her Japanese teammate, coming over.
Looked like she just stepped on Lizzie Christensen's foot in the challenge.
She literally signed with the Courage in April, and think only played, 8 games with them of last year, and then had this meniscus tear that she's been dealing with.
Riley communicating to his players. Very familiar face for women's soccer fans in the U.S. Coached the Philadelphia Independents in the WPS. Of course, Portland Thorns 2014, 2015. Then move over to Western New York Flash. Who, of course, moved to North Carolina last year. As we mentioned, this is the dominant team right now in the National Women's Soccer League, but some unfinished business. A physical final last year where they lost 1-0 to Portland Thorns. So Paul Riley and company certainly have at least one more critical box to check off on this year's to-do list.
All right. And this year, they're 14-1-4. Their only loss coming to Utah in June. Only loss on the year. Look at that. That's a good season right there.
And it's tough. I mean, the NWSL is a league in many ways built on parity, so to be running away with it in this manner is really quite impressive.
Yeah, when I talked to Sam Mewis today, I said, give me 3 reasons why you've been so good. And without hesitation, the first thing that came out of her mouth, Paul Riley. I was like, really? You start with the coach. Yeah, and then she went on to say how not just what he brings with X's and O's and tactics, but she said he pushes them to be better human beings as well, which she loves. And she's such a great human being, so you could see her, obviously, and that affinity to that. But he says, we talk a lot about being a better teammate, a better player. And that's huge. We all buy in and get it and love being around each other. And it says a lot about a coach. You love to hear that.
And you hate to see this. Yuri Kawamura leaving the field on a stretcher. They seem to have straightened her right leg. It's the leg she immediately grabbed upon falling to the ground. It does look like Kerry Recaro will be the replacement for North Carolina.
And Kerry Recaro is an interesting story as well. Played at Notre Dame. Was a star on the youth national teams, one of the captains of the youth national teams, and then drafted by the Houston Dash early. I think 5th or 6th, pretty high up there.
5th overall, yep.
Yeah,
2016.
Then, played last season with Houston and said she just needed a change of pace. And Carolina picked her up. And she hasn't been getting a ton of minutes this season, but a tournament like this gives her a great opportunity to get some time and get some confidence back.
And these are good minutes. You're not going to find a better opponent to go against, at least on paper, than Lyon. Although so far, they have not looked like the all-star team that's won back-to-back-to-back Champions Leagues in Europe. Should acknowledge, still about a month from their season opener in the French league. Buchanan looking for bronze.
We called a Canadian game last year, and I said to Buchanan and Ashley Lawrence, who's over, I believe, at PSG, 2 Canadian stars, and I said, and they both came out of
West Virginia.
Yeah, West Virginia at the same time, and I said, why didn't you go with the NWSL? Why did you choose to go play abroad in France? And they both said, we just wanted the challenge of Europe and wanted to experience Europe, because Khadijah Buchanan would have gone #1 in that 2017 draft.
Now she'll go one-on-one with Lynn Williams. Williams pulling up from distance and just fires over the bar. It was deflected, so out for a corner kick.
And again, you see the danger of Lynn Williams. She threatens like she's going to get behind, which drops Buchanan off, and then gives her the space to wind up and try and take one from there. And she can take him from that distance.
Mentioned Buchanan. She's only 22 years old. She's already closing in on 100 caps for Canada. She'll have to be at her defensive best on this set piece, with North Carolina sending bodies into the box. Looking for a second goal on the night. Service to come from who else? Heather O'Reilly. Driven ball to the back post. This is dangerous. Buchanan heads away. I gotta agree with you, Julie, as an NWSL fan, viewer, I was disappointed when I found out Buchanan wasn't staying in the league. But or not staying in the league, wasn't coming to the league out of college, but you understand that the opportunities in Europe are different and different challenges. Can't say it's hurt her. O'Reilly. Another corner kick from the opposite side now. Another well-driven ball, and again, Buchanan there to win the header. Hinkle. Back to Williams. We'll go all the way back to D'Angelo. North Carolina resetting the attack. Now through Abby Ursay. Represented New Zealand at the 2016 Rio Olympics. Hinkle pushing forward, shoved to the ground, no call from the referee. '34th minute between North Carolina Courage, Olympique Lyon. Lyon coming for an equalizer. Van de Sanden with space in the box. She's cut it back to the penalty spot. And the shot from Izzy Christensen well wide.
And that is about as good a look as you're going to get. Van de Sanden, look at this ball. Just takes a peek, sees that the near post is shut off, finds a seam. You've got to get that on frame, especially against a team like the Courage, where you're just not going to get many looks.
Christensen, a 26-year-old English international, just signed with Lyon earlier this month, having spent the last few seasons at Manchester City. She's on the ball now. Finds Amadine Henry. Henry to bronze. I mean, it really is an all-star team as you read the names. Van de Sanden. Henry. Van de Sanden now with space again down the right flank. Her cross headed away, only to Henry. Lays it off. Nearly had a chip ball over D'Angelo. And Kumagai just missing out.
Henry might have had a look herself if that first touch hadn't gotten away from her. She saves it by sending this to Kumagai. You can see that's the right idea there, just trying to find the corner, but it's going to be tough to do against a D'Angelo type keeper.
Kumagai, one of the 6 Lyon players on the list of 10 for FIFA's The Best Award, the world's top female footballer.
You can see there from that reaction with Kawamura that
it's actually her left knee. Yeah, I thought I'd seen her grab a right. Correct myself. I'm working on her left knee there.
So frustrating as a player when you finally feel like you're getting back in.
Erceg with a missed touch. Van de Sanden there, but it caroms off her shin right into the waiting arms of Sabrina D'Angelo.
Boy, was that a lucky one for Erceg. That Van de Sanden didn't have a better touch on that one because she was in.
A reminder, Tuesday, the International Champions Cup continues with Manchester United, Real Madrid at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Tottenham AC Milan, 8:25 on ESPN News. Barcelona Roma, 10 Eastern on ESPN. All three matches also on ESPN Deportes and available streaming live on the ESPN app so you can watch anywhere. Lyon switching the point of attack. Van de Sanden in the touch, looking for Bronze. Hinkle there to intercept. Elise O'Sullivan now. Ball lofted forward. Williams gives chase. Buchanan. Unconvincing clearance. Renard there to clean it up. Now Kumagai. Henry. Christensen. She opens it up for Simone. Simone looking for options. She's found one in Les Sommer. Nice turn from Les Sommer. She's cut down, and it'll be a good spot for a free kick for Lyon.
And I'll tell you what, if Henry and Christensen and Les Sommer start to get into this game, then it's going to be some offensive power coming at Carolina.
D'Angelo setting up her wall. Almost every North Carolina Courage outfield player in the penalty area to defend this one. Whistle from the referee. And it looks like we'll have a foul going the other way. Some contact in the wall, perhaps? Sommer doesn't like it. Sommer wins the battle, brings it down. Couldn't pick out Hegerberg. Erceg under pressure again, goes straight back to D'Angelo. Sweeps it wide to Hinkle. Lyon moving their line of confrontation further and further upfield. They're rewarded for it here. Christensen. Kumagai. Kumagai again. Bronze forced to go back with her first touch. Under serious pressure from Kristen Hamilton.
That's what they're calling.
Yep. Henry, the guilty party there.
Trying to clear out the whole wall. Good call by Peralta, the referee.
Van de Sanden again getting in behind this North Carolina defense. She's caught from behind by Hamilton. Excellent recovery run from the Courage defender. Henry. Les Sommer. Double teamed, still on it. Bronze slips it into Kumagai. What a touch. Les Sommer had a chance to shoot. Lays it wide for Simone. Simone, driven ball into the box, cleared away.
You can see Lyon getting their confidence, getting that momentum back, and especially Kumagai getting so much of the ball. When she starts to control the midfield as well, just starts pulling the purse strings.
Renard. Another one of the 10 players on the short list for FIFA's The Best Award. I mentioned 6 Lyon players, 3 NWSL players on the list.
Lucy Bronze on there. Les Sommer on there. Trying to think of all of them.
Marajan, who's not here.
Yeah,
a scary situation
actually, yeah,
with
that's
her.
an interesting situation. We should probably. She mentioned on a Facebook post that she's got a blocked blood vessel in her lung and is going to require a few weeks rest, and so is not playing. That was on July 18th was the post for that. Is not playing in these games. And Germany has a huge World Cup qualifier coming up in their group. They sit actually behind Iceland by 1 point. And they play Iceland on September 1st, so they're going to want her healthy for that one. She's the captain and one of the stars of the German national team, of course.
Such a great player for Germany at the 2016 Rio Olympics, really the star of that gold medal winning team. Hegerberg nearly turned the corner there, but misfires, out for a goal kick.
And we really haven't seen much of Hegerberg today. This is a player that in 2016, this is a great stat, was voted the best Norwegian footballer of the year. The only time a woman has ever won that, meaning the best footballer in the entire country. The only other woman to win it was in 1995, and it was Hege Riise, who was a famous, legendary midfielder for the Norwegian team way back in the days when I played, Seb. She was so good.
95.
And Hegerberg has been a part of their 3 Champions League wins over the last 3 years, and a huge part of it. Leading scorer of all of UEFA in 2 of them, 2 of the campaigns.
Van de Sanden working on Hinkle. Gets the cross off to the back post. D'Angelo doesn't want to risk picking it up. And she'll send it deep to Renard. Coming up on the Ally halftime report, we got first half highlights. We'll preview Major League Soccer's All-Star Game. We'll also bring you highlights in the Tournament of Nations, US and Australia just finishing up. 4 minutes of added time. Most of that I think we can chalk up to the Kawamura injury. Van de Sanden, again, dangerous down this right flank.
She's having her way on that right flank in the last 7-10 minutes. That's interesting, too, because it's Hinkle's side. Hamilton's been trying to come back. Speck's been coming over.
Bronze. Drives the ball deep. It'll stay in. And North Carolina with a chance to build out of the back. Kerry Recaro just into the game. She replaced Kawamura about 10 minutes ago. Speck in there joining the front line. She wins the header. But it rolls out for a Lyon throw, and now deep in their own territory. North Carolina setting the press.
And there it is. You see O'Sullivan pop all the way forward from midfield. Lynn Williams trying to go with her as well. I mean, you gotta pick your times, though. I mean, this is a big field in the Miami Heat.
Buchanan looks like she switched over to the left center back position. Her and Renard flipping sides on the interior of the Lyon back line. Bronze to Van de Sanden. Bronze again. Beautifully chip ball for Hegerberg. D'Angelo racing off her line to connect. Hinkle sprung free down this left-hand side. She's picked out Williams. Williams and Renard one-on-one. Williams cuts to the inside. Renard, classy challenge.
Great defense by Renard, because you thought Williams was in there.
Renard on it again. 28-year-old defender born in Martinique. Bad pass out of the back. Turnover. Break for North Carolina. Ball fell to O'Reilly for a second. Her shot muffled by the Lyon defense. French champions hoping for perhaps one last chance. Instead, a turnover will see North Carolina regain possession. About a minute left in the opening half here at Hard Rock Stadium. Early goal from Heather O'Reilly, the difference between these two sides. North Carolina in mid-season mode. Still a couple months to play in their NWSL campaign, plus playoffs. Lyon still a month or so from their regular season opener. Les Sommer, Van de Sanden, running at Urseg. Van de Sanden, through to Bronze. Bronze on her right foot. Bronze, can she turn? Bronze still on it. Tried to offer a left-footed cross. But Urseg springs a counter for North Carolina. A counter cut short by the end of the half.
And what a good run by Lucy Bronze. We've seen her score big, big goals. That's the right back for Lyon, getting all the way forward.
At the half, North Carolina courage on top of Olympique Lyon, courtesy Heather O'Reilly in the 10th minute, assist from Lynn Williams. We'll be back with more at halftime in just a moment.